G'day guys, thank you for tuning into the channel today. I'm super excited because we've got a big project ahead of us. Today we'll start the process of chopping and modifying the AA International cab to fit the GQ Patrol floor pan and firewall. Yesterday I put the TD42 on charge, bringing this dead battery back to life. So I'll start by disconnecting the battery charger and seeing if it fires up. She fires up, no worries. I'll let it run for a minute and then we'll get to work. We kick things off by marking where we need to cut to fit the patrol dash in. The plan is to be able to use a patrol dash as it will fit right into place once we have grafted the international cabin onto the patrol firewall. We don't waste any time and get straight into cutting. After a few test fits and some more trimming, we were able to get the dash sitting where we need it. We started measuring up the cab and the GQ components. We want to make sure everything aligns perfectly before we start cutting. This includes a front wheel in relation to the guards. We need the front axle to sit in the center of the international guards. This will dictate roughly how far back we can get the cabin. The further back the better, however we'll see what we can do after some measurements. Our goal is to make it sit on the patrol's floor pan while maintaining its original cab mounts. This will make it a straight swap when putting this cabin on the chassis with the TD42. Here we're pushing out the windscreen of a GQ wagon body. We'll be chopping this body to get the firewall and floor pan. Once the windscreen is removed, we're installing it into the U-body, just to keep things protected. We've just finished separating the parts we need. We'll remove the stuff we no longer need, then remount the remainder of the body onto the chassis. This chassis isn't the one we're going to be using in the final build. This is just another GQ roller that we had. We're using this as it doesn't have the engine, making it easier to move and take the body off. Currently we are cutting the plenum chamber. This will allow us to fit onto the patrol. Now that we have cut out the things we think will get in the way, it's time to lift the cabin onto the patrol. For this we'll be using a lifting gantry. This makes the job nice and easy without damaging the cab. Now we'll just be making tiny cuts to get the cab sitting where we need it. To be able to get the cab down far enough, we're going to remove parts of the sills. We'll be doing this with a plasma cutter as it will suit this situation better. We'll be doing this on both sides, then we'll be able to test fit the cab again. Now that we've got the cab sitting down in a safe position, we're able to put on a guard. This will help us see where it sits in relation to the wheel. Here we can see the wheel sits too far forward, meaning we'll have to move the cabin further forward to line the center of the wheel up with the center of the guard. After some more trimming, we were able to get the cab sitting pretty good. We have chopped some excess floor pan off at the back, making us able to sit the cabin all the way down to the chassis at the back. We decided to chuck the dash in to see where it sits in relation to the cabin when the dash is on its factory mounts. Once we cut this scuttle panel, we're able to get the cab sitting down again. This will just bring the front end further down. Today we cut the international body up and the patrol body, removing the unnecessary parts, allowing us to lower the body. We've made some good progress already, but more to come on day 2. This morning we lifted the body up again so we could start preparing it for welding. The areas that need welding have been grinded back down to bare metal. We need to seal some holes so they don't hold water. These old bonnet hinge mounts aren't going to be used, so the holes are going to need to be covered and sealed. By using some plate cut to shape, it'll fill the holes, and once welded, it will prevent water from gathering. Same thing for where the body pillars were. Once welded, they were made smooth and flat using the grinder. For the body to sit level at the back, we had to cut these little sections out of it so it can pass the chassis rails. By using some cut 100x100 SHS, we slotted it into place so it can be welded. This will give it strength back. After a lot of measurements, we knew the body was in the right spot. To start joining the body, some tack welds were added to the corner of the sills on both sides. Now that we know the body won't move, we can start some of the sheet metal, starting with this section just above the dash. To prevent too much heat and burning holes, the sheet metal needs to be tacked, which will get cleaned up with the grinder later. By using cardboard as a template, we cut some more sheet metal to cover this gap. In this video, we were able to get the cab down in place, fixed to the floor pan, and started working on some sheet metal. Thanks for watching to the end. See you on the next one.